Hey, what's up guys? Chief Pat here, and today bringing you guys a brand new Clash Royale video. And today we're going to be hopping into the very first Let's Play Clash Royale video since the new update came out just a couple of days ago. Now, if you guys look at my deck right now, you might notice that I actually swapped in the zap for the arrows. The zap spell is just so incredibly strong right now. Seems like almost everyone is using it, so I thought I would try it out inside of this deck and see if it worked better than arrows. I know it's going to be tough for me when I face things like the minion horde because the zap only takes them down to a single shot, and especially if I'm playing level 9 players, they might actually still take 2 shots with the zap. I'm not exactly sure. I still imagine it's going to be a single shot, but starting off, it looks like we're going to be going against a spawner, and again, another level 9. Now, right now I'm at 2,250 trophies, which means I'm only 50 away from reaching the Frozen Peak Arena, so hopefully we can hit that inside of this episode, be able to dominate a couple of these level 9s, and then make it happen. Alright, so I'm full on elixir right now. That was pretty poor elixir management right there. I should have gotten the poison spell out earlier. Notice how I chose the goblin hut instead of the barbarian hut, just because I didn't want to have to deal with that left hand side. I already had a Valkyrie on the right. I think I should be able to hold right now, and take a look. I've actually got 2 elixir pumps as he rockets down my musketeer, and I'm going to use these skeletons to distract the barbarian. That's actually going to work out really well. I've got the Valkyrie on top of the witch, and she should be able to shred her to pieces, and at this point things are actually looking pretty good. Now, of course, he has more damage out of my bottom right hand tower, and a really awkward placement right here. I actually had to drop my hog rider because all I had was like the cannon as well as the poison and zap spell. None of those actually would have helped me, so at least I got some damage off with my hog rider, but 8 elixir plus dropping that poison, the hog rider plus the poison for 8 elixir made it so it wasn't so good. Now, take a look at what I do with the elixir pump. Whenever you're in a battle and you notice someone has a rocket, you always need to make sure you're adapting, and notice where I put that next elixir pump. I put it next to my king tower, and the reason I did that is because I don't want him to be able to rocket down both my tower as well as my elixir pump at the same time. So if you look at the bottom left, obviously that elixir pump, if it had more HP, he would definitely rocket it down, but now that I have that pump in the very center, you can't reach both that pump and my crown tower, so things are looking pretty good so far as we go for a gigantic counter push on the right hand lane, and this is really where we're going to make our mark. So after all of that elixir saving, we had the Valkyrie, we had the hog rider, we had the musketeer all the way to the tower plus a poison spell, and that tower is going to be down to 124 HP before he goes on his own little counter push of his own, and at this point gonna have to play a little defense with the cannon as well as the musketeer. Now he's going to drop his rockets, and the rockets actually going to do a pretty decent job. Notice a really terrible zap there by me. I don't know exactly why I played that. As well as that elixir pump, I really didn't need to place that as well. You don't place your elixir pump within the last minute of the battle if you already have a tower down generally. Like, I was in such a big lead that I could have just played defense instead of playing that elixir pump, so that's what I'm going to do. Skeletons on the left. I'm pretty much just wasting time at this point. I know the game is all but over as the poison spell ticks the tower down, and that's going to be a pretty clean victory against a level 9 with the spawner deck. And yeah, pretty good stuff. We made some good adjustments on the fly as far as the rocket goes, and then from there it was sort of just a conserving elixir game and just making positive elixir trades. And you don't have to necessarily have an elixir pump to do what I'm doing right here. Even though I have the elixir pump down and I was making a big profit, if you even play without the elixir pump and go for short trades on your opponent's towers whenever you can get a small lead, it definitely still works the same way. As we open up the crown chest, let's go ahead and see what we get. So we get some gold, some gems, some royal GGs, the goblin hut, Valkyrie, as well as some barbarians. I actually didn't get anything that I really used inside of my deck. I guess I got the Valkyrie, which is sort of nice. But yeah, let's go ahead and keep going on. One more battle right here against JH12984, and he's actually a level 8. So if we win this battle, we're going to go up to the Ice Peak arena, and let's go and start off as he has the minion horde. And guys, this is where not having arrows for the zap really hurts. You can see the minion hordes are the minion horde is actually going to do a pretty decent amount of damage against my tower. I could have dropped my zap, which might have been a little bit better, but instead I decided to go for a counter push in the right hand lane, and with that counter push, the Valkyrie actually isn't going to reach the tower. Instead, it's going to attack the witch and not get the splash damage that I wanted, but still really not the worst trade. I think he might have a small elixir lead on me right now, but we definitely made up a little bit of damage from that minion horde. If we had arrows right there, we would have taken almost no damage on our bottom left hand tower. So a little bit unfortunate right there, but still, let's go ahead and start pumping up. Looks like he's actually going to drop a royal giant, and I'm going to drop my cannon just a half second second too early, which honestly I've been doing a lot recently. So I of course drop an oops, and honestly that isn't the ideal placement for the cannon anyways. You want it maybe like 3 tiles up from your tower and 2 to the right, but it's not too big of a deal. Actually, it is sort of big of a deal. He got a lot of damage right there. I'm gonna have to zap down his Hog Rider, and from here, my tower's down to 327 HP, and really just a bad play by me. If I played my cannon a little bit better, obviously that would have helped out against the Royal Giant. If I played a lot of things better, things would have been okay, but now I'm just probably gonna lose this tower to this minion horde, and again, not having those arrows and making a couple of mistakes myself obviously led to a pretty bad time right there. So things aren't looking great right now, but keep in mind I do have elixir pumps down, so that means I'm starting to gain a pretty big advantage, and if I can play good defense against this witch right here and go for a little counter assault, then I should be in pretty good shape to at least take out that first tower. Now he drops a lightning spell, and that's really expensive for him, seeing as he doesn't have any elixir pumps down, and I have 2, so I'm gonna go ahead and drop a zap. I've got my musketeer attacking those barbarians. Tower's actually gonna switch aggro onto my Hog Rider and let my Valkyrie kill all of those barbs, so that was really nice use of the zap spell right there. I'm sort of tempted to drop an elixir pump, but obviously getting towards the end of this, I need to go for a huge push, so I'm gonna go for the Valkyrie Hog Rider push, as well as the musketeer in the back with the poison spell. He's probably gonna lightning me. Actually, he decides not to as his tower goes down, and as his hog starts chipping away on the bottom right hand side, my tower's down to 1389 HP, and at this point I've got to play a pretty good cannon right there to shove the Royal Giant out of the way. If you guys didn't know, you can play a cannon on the perfect spot and make the Royal Giant stop attacking your tower, and I'm sort of in a little bit of trouble here. I don't have anything that's going to work really well against that Royal Giant beside that cannon, but if he plays a wizard and a Royal Giant, the game seems like it's going to be pretty much over. So here goes another cannon. The witch is going to be on the right hand side. The Valkyrie should be able to swallow her up. We've got the cannon trying to fight off everything that he's attacking me with. The Hog Rider will get melted down, and take a look at what happened after that defense right there. Now I've got a Valkyrie, I've got a musketeer, I can drop my Hog Rider, I can go for a huge push on my own, first of course dropping that poison spell, and I'm gonna go for the game. I'm gonna drop my cannon on top of his Royal GG. We've got the Hog Rider Valkyrie as well as the musketeer running towards the tower. The Hog Rider is gonna start doing work. It's 30 seconds left in the battle as the Royal Giant attacks the tower. The tower is gonna go all the way down to 594 HP. We've got 1992 on his tower, and he makes a huge mistake. He drops that witch in a terrible position. He's gonna get no value out of that witch. The Hog Rider isn't gonna reach the tower as well, and with 10 seconds left, I'm gonna make one final push towards the tower. I've got the poison spell, I've got the zap spell, I'm dropping everything that I can with 2 seconds left, a single second left on the clock. We're gonna pull a 3 crown to 1 victory and wrap up a pretty nail-biting win. So 30 trophies for that win. Honestly, not sure how we pulled that one out. I think he stopped playing cards within the last 5 seconds, which was sort of weird. Maybe he just didn't believe in ties, but that's going to actually bring us all the way up to the Frozen Peak Arena, where we're going to unlock the Bowler, the Ice Spirit, as well as another legendary card that, of course, we will never get on this free-to-play account. Feels bad, man. All right, anyways, we're at 2,300 trophies. Let's go ahead and hop into one more battle for the day. Again, another level 9, which we are getting pretty accustomed to by now. And yeah, let's just drop an elixir pump, hang out, see what we can do. He's got a witch as well. It seems like witches, since they got that buff that increased their damage per second, a lot of people seem to be rocking them. He's doing a giant witch push, and I'm going to drop my Valkyrie in just a second, but notice how terrible that Valkyrie placement was. I literally took out the witch's skeletons with the Valkyrie. That's not how you want to play, and luckily I didn't take more damage right there. It looks like his musketeer is going to get a couple shots on the tower, but that Valkyrie was just so bad. I should have zapped the skeletons and then dropped the Valkyrie right on top of the witch and the musketeer. Things would have gone much better than what I did right there, but still only taking about 700 damage to the tower. Things could have been much worse, and this is where he makes a crucial mistake. Now, dropping a defense when your opponent hasn't gone on offense yet is really, really bad. It's just a giant waste of elixir. You can see his cannon is already down to about 60% HP, and I haven't even gone to his side of the map. I'm going to start prepping for my own push down the right-hand lane. I've got the Valkyrie, Hog Rider, Musketeer combo, which obviously is my big combo on this account, and the poison spell is going to go down to let my Hog get at least a single hit off on the tower. and not really result in too much damage. So a little bit unfortunate right there. I'm going to take one swing from Valkyrie just to make sure I don't have to waste any elixir, and I'm going to also take another swing from the Witch, I guess a swing as in her little bloops that she sends out, and I'm going to swap 100 damage for any of the spells I would have placed, and that's what's going to give me a massive lead. Guys, it's not that bad to take damage sometimes. The damage I took right there ended up probably giving me like a 3 elixir lead instead of dropping, you know, a cannon or something to protect one swing from the Valkyrie and a couple of hits from the Witch. And because of that, that sets me up for the future of the battle. A lot of people, when they're playing Clash Royale, they just think about what's going on right now and they start to, you know, sort of just face roll their cards out onto the battlefield. But if you can sort of think about the next 30 seconds, and if you take a little bit of damage here, or if you do this or you do that, what will actually happen, and get yourself an elixir lead, that's how you win games. Like, that's how I find a lot of my friends making their mistakes when I'm playing with them at my house. I'm like, oh, if you just take a little bit more damage here, you're gonna be okay. So I definitely recommend that you don't freak out too much. I'm even going to drop a zap right there, which I guess you can qualify as freaking out. I shouldn't have dropped that zap, but anyways, let's go and play some defense. We're still having a massive elixir lead right here, but take a look. He actually has that Valkyrie at 1 HP and his minions, which are going crazy onto my tower. I'm going to have to zap those minions and watch what happens. The minion is actually going to redirect my Valkyrie, which was sort of nice, so I saved a little bit of damage. But at this point, with 14 seconds left in the battle, you know, I've been preaching about giving yourself an elixir lead, but I've done absolutely nothing with my elixir lead so far. I'm going to make some plays soon, but a lot of the times when people get close to ending the game, they actually start to freak out and do silly things. So I'm going to go ahead and counter this push. Really easy to counter what he was doing right here. My Valkyrie, of course, is going to die. His minions will die as well. At this point, I'm cycling through my cards. I've got 2 Musketeers down now. I've got the Hog Rider, his cannon he has to cycle, and a massive mistake with the Giant. That's 5 elixir for a card that will not affect my offensive push. I've got 2 Valkyries, one of them hitting the tower, one shooting the Musketeer. The Hog Rider is going to take one final swing at that tower, and that's going to give us a comeback victory after he got us down all the way to 277 HP and give us that 1 crown to 0 win. So tense battles right there, guys. Lots of good stuff today. I'm still really frustrated playing higher level players and not having a casual mode to do it and play. Anyways, that's just frustration. Good wins today, nothing to complain about. 29 trophies for this one, as well as we finally are in that 2300 arena. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you drop a like, and until next time, I will see you guys later. Peace out.